Okay, today we're putting in a Type 4 engine into Karmann Ghia, a Type 1 setup. We're using Raby's air-cooled. This engine has been in here before. I'm just putting it back in after doing some repairs. So Raby's air-cooled design DTM fan shroud. I don't know how well you can see it in there, but so a couple of things to remind you of, and also to remind me of next time I do this. Easier to put the fan shroud on, but leave the alternator out so that you have room. Got it sitting on a motorcycle jack and sending the motorcycle jack in backwards underneath the car, and you'll see why later, but it's easier to jack it up in that direction. So I have the car jacked up on stands, sitting on the torsion housing tubes, and just to give myself a little bit more height, stacked a couple of old rotors. Don't try this at home. Use the proper jack stands. But really, if it's nice and stable like these are, that works well and gives me enough height. Still, when rolling the engine in, I had to rock it back on its back to get it under the bumper and tailgate, and then rock it back forward. One thing I'd like to improve next time is on the motorcycle jack, if you could get a small angle iron to sit across here and maybe rest inside these holes to keep them stable with a bolt or something, and same on the other side. That would keep the engine in place so it doesn't move side to side as you're doing this, tilting it back and forth. As I jack this up, I've got to get these bolts to go into those holes right there above the red thing there, and to get them to go into there before anything on the front of the engine hits the underside of the body, I might have to tip the whole engine a little bit forward. I've installed the carburetor towers on here. It's a tight fit getting those through the engine hole, but it came out all right that way, so I think it's going to go in all right that way. And I've got the back shrouding on, the tin on the back part of the engine, which I'm hoping won't get in the way, but it's easier to mount now before the engine's back up in there than after it's in there. So as I jack up, I've got to make sure that this goes in between there, and also, if you have your Type 4 from a 914, you have the dipstick to contend with. It goes in here, and that makes for a high point the first thing that's going to hit on the underside. So watch for that as we go up. So I don't have anybody to hold the camera, so I'm going to just do the jacking off camera, and I'll let you know how it goes.